Good morning. Welcome to another daily adventure here. I'm not even sure what day it is. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday after Easter Sunday. And on Easter Sunday, I had a strange man come onto my property demanding that I give him something. I don't know. He just was berating, harassing me, and then come to find out it appears that he has been watching my 14-year-old daughter. I have it all on video. I'm not going to go into it. And I've been posting it, but I have to say, like, I've been doing more and more research. And I don't know. I guess I kind of live a double life in a sense. Like, hold on, hear me out. Hear me out. Well, let me take a step back. I don't feel safe in this community. I have never felt safe in this community. And I grew up in a very, 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 I grew up in the deep South, okay, with racism, blatant racism in your face. And I can tell you, actually, you know what? Biloxi was the capital, honestly, of the Confederacy. And Jefferson Davis's home is there. I grew up, going to concerts right next door to Jefferson Davis's home at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum. I saw Ozzy Osbourne there. It was my first concert I ever went to when I was like 14 or 13 or something. I don't know. But it literally, it's adjacent to the Jefferson Davis home. And, I don't know. It's a very trivial history, but it is such a melting pot also. And we're so close to, it's a deep, rich history that I think a lot of people should really visit there and learn about, and not just the casinos and not just the Confederacy, and maybe learn a little bit about the soulfulness of the area and the art of the area and the liveliness of the area and the intelligence of the area. I can't even tell you. I graduated from Biloxi High School, and just the depth of talent of people that I went to junior high with. And let me tell you, the junior high that I went to was a Biloxi is from the 1600s. So the historical nature of the junior high that I went to was in the African American and Vietnamese community on the Point in Biloxi. And I'm losing my point of what I wanted to make. We'll come back to that. So the point that I'm trying to make is listen, I come from what you would consider for me as a white woman to be a very racist and listen, I've had my experience with the KKK and David Duke when I was 18, and as a white woman, I didn't feel safe. And so that just kind of gives you an idea, an overview. But I moved here and almost immediately it was like, holy shit. I feel uncomfortably I don't know. I never fit in and was never given an opportunity to fit in. And that same mentality is what they are wanting to attract to the area. I mean, come on, who else thinks it's a fucking wonderful idea to put an enormous flagpole, or like in a comedy thing I did was like, I mean, it's like Google Maps and you're pinning yourself like, hey, we're here, Cape Coma. But I digress. So anyway, like, I've never, and the irony is, like, and to come to find out, like, I have this LLC establishment operating behind my home, a sober man's home. So let me give you a little background on myself, okay? 2001, I sustained a traumatic brain injury on 9/11. Yeah, I know, I get it. But it was 2 hours before, so it faded into the abyss. It never really happened, because I can't find news articles or anything. So, yeah, I was transported by helicopter to Lee Memorial. I was in a coma for a week. I was in the hospital for a month. Yeah, I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor, so I have that going on. But I've been masking, so nobody would ever know, unless you really knew me or I told you. So I have that. I have major anxiety. I have major depression. I have a whole possibly bipolar disease, possibly borderline personality. I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. ADHD. I don't know. I have 2 children that have significant ADHD and anxiety, all the things that go with ADHD, and on a 504 IEP. I have a boyfriend who has major anxiety, who has ADHD, or I'm sorry, ADD, and is also with a Voc Rehab participant. So we are a protected population at this home to have somebody from another very volatile protected population himself do what he did. So I'm just going to give you some kind of a little more background as to why I'm just so fucking angry, enraged of the hypocrisy and the racism in this area. I had this man jump my fence to demand that I am like white trash, and that I smoke all this weed, and I probably don't even have my license. And when I said I do have my license, and I have had my license, and I practice responsibly, like, he shut the fuck up pretty quick. So there's that. I also have extensive documentation in my medical records of my responsible use. Also, 3 weeks ago on a Saturday, I had emergency abdominal surgery on my gastric region. Okay? So I'm 3 weeks post-op, fucking around with this guy, I've been in a hypomanic, per my psychiatrist, I've been hypomanic. I got laid off from my work because I couldn't go back to work, and I got this fucker jumping my fence. My daughter's scared because he knew her age and knew her hair color, that she had peekaboos. And if you know what peekaboos are, you know, how would he know what her fucking hair color is if she has peekaboos? But he knew pretty. And when I go out on the lanai, there's a chair facing my house. And then there's also a window. Who's to say he's not in that window, watching with binoculars of my daughter, myself, my boyfriend, my dogs, my son's best friend? Like, really? So this is supposed to be a licensed entity, regulated by the state of Florida, also regulated by a certification agency. I have notated both of those. I have also noted the city government, because this is an entity operating within their jurisdiction. And I feel like I am just like, I've got to go get a restraining order against this guy because my daughter is scared to death. So now I, post-operatively, have to go in front of a judge of all the trauma and bullshit that I've had to endure over my last 20 years here, which is a lot, and I'm not going to go into detail, but if you know, you know. It's been reported to city officials. I should not have to take it further. A formal trespassing has been issued to him personally. And that's when I found out about the sober living home. So then when I go to research, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. I'm really upset, and rightfully so. And then come to find out, so I look up the agency that owns the establishment, the sober home. And so I guess the founders, or the philosophy of this home is abstinence, 100% abstinence. Well, if you know me, you know me. I utilize medical marijuana. And so, he was out there screaming at me that I'm a witch and this, and my boyfriend's the N-word. And this is a brown man screaming at another brown man that he's an N-word. And my understanding, I don't know, maybe that's just my dumb white bitch mentality. My understanding is you're a brown man calling another brown man the N-word. My understanding is the N-word was derived from the Latin term of the component of darker appearance. I'm not going there. So come on. It's just that's hypocrisy there, just standing there. You're a fucking crackhead, a recovering crackhead, fucking yelling at me for my illegal marijuana use because I have opted out of pain medication for my emergency surgery and have opted to heal myself naturally with tea and rest and marijuana and art and music. And this is what I get. So here is the backstory. So for 25 years I have since high school, and you can look up my LinkedIn account. Since high school, I have dedicated myself to the medical profession. Graduating high school, I was eligible to enroll in or test for certified nursing assisting but I chose not to. I chose to go for scholarship for a lab program to a junior college till I met the love of my life, gag me now, and rooted up my life and moved to Florida. So here we are. So I have a very long 25 years in healthcare corporate compliance. I started my career working for a $1 billion corporation based out of Southwest Florida, where I started in credentialing, and when I left, I was in their compliance. And that was many, many years ago. I have extensive training, knowledge, education, and experience and how these agencies are supposed to operate. And how this agency is operating is not how it should be operating. And from my perspective, there is a cascading lack of oversight on all levels that is causing safety issues to the community who has no idea. I'm not saying that the addiction services population does not have a place in the community. It 1000% does. With my background in mental health, vocational rehabilitation for me both personally and professionally, there is a place. It's just not undisclosed in a neighborhood with family and other vulnerable populations that don't know that they're there with no oversight. So this man's behavior has been identified by my entire household for months. Every time that I would ever go back in the backyard, the man would just start pacing erratically around the house, like making me feel uncomfortable that I'm outside of my own home with my dogs, letting my dogs go pee. And like, so it's just kind of making sense. But I have a lot of deep history and trauma that like, I can't help but think like there's other overlapping things and other people are setting them up. And I shouldn't have to feel that way. Especially knowing the knowledge that I have. It's hypocrisy and ludicrousy all at the same time. Enough is enough. I have reported it to all of the appropriate authorities, and I expect something to change. I'm tired of people looking at me because I have a nose ring, tattoos, I let my gray hair, I'm overweight, and I'm all natural, and they want to judge me. But let me tell you, a year ago, I was in place in a corporation here for mental health, helping them get regulated with the state of Florida and other major insurance carriers. So I have a pretty good reputation with the inspectors here locally on a first name basis. So I don't know. There is a complete lack of fiduciary duty and accountability, and I'm fucking pissed off. And I'm fucking tired of people fucking pointing fingers at me like I'm the fucking crack meth whore, and all I'm trying to do is heal and raise my family and move on with my life, and I fucking can't. So you fucked around and you're fucking finding out.